Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Outsider Podcast with me, your host, Nema. Karibuni sana. Today we'll be talking about rejection, advantages of rejection, how to get over rejection. So please subscribe, like, shares in our comment section, and please enjoy. We'll look at the different types of rejection. And I have my phone here to help me with it. So we have the romantic rejection, we have the job rejection or career rejection, we have the family rejection. That's by like getting rejected by your mother or your father, and then I don't just getting the word no, just getting the word no, and it's okay. So with romantic rejection, I won't really talk about romantic rejection because this is not what this episode will be about. But I will touch on it if that's what you're interested in. So please stay tuned. It will be talked about somewhere in this podcast. But if it's not what you're interested in, please stick around as well because we'll be talking about different types of rejection, how to overcome it, and the advantages. Yes, advantages of rejection. So I'm recording this today from my house. Karibuni sana. Yeah, karibu. Yes, so we'll start with job rejection. You know, when you apply for a job, let's not start with when you've applied for a job. You've finished university, you've gotten your degree, and everyone tells you get a degree, then you get a job. You go through your very first job interview. For the lucky ones, you pass, and then you get the job. But for those that don't, this is for you. You do all the steps you're supposed to do. You have your CV in order. Someone proofreads your CV. You go through the interview techniques. You rehearse, and then you go to the interview. And then you get ghosted by the interviewer or by the hiring manager or by the company, and that's okay. Imagine it's okay, and it's okay because the job that you're supposed to get is probably not that one, and the one you're going to get is better than that one. But you'll be thinking, I rehearsed, I did everything right, but then imagine maybe what they're looking for is someone that has more experience. Let's say they're looking for someone with 2 years of experience and you're just out of school. Of course, it's good to apply for jobs that you may feel like you're slightly underqualified for or even overly underqualified for. Please apply because you never know, you might get it. So in this case, this white background is disturbing me. I don't know how this will look like when editing, but I hope it turns out well. And don't feel bad. Don't internalize that rejection. It's hard to say don't internalize it because it's rejection. The first thing you want to do is internalize it. But just accept it, move on, and learn something from it. If possible, get feedback from the interviewer on what you could have done to make the interview go better. If you have their phone number, they've ghosted you, they haven't gotten back to you about the results of the interview. But if you have their phone number, call them, follow up, say hello, yes, this, I didn't get the job, but I just wanted to get some feedback from you. Is there something I could improve on? So with my experience from job rejection, let me talk about the time we were laid off. We were laid off at work, and then we're hunting for jobs. Then I got invited to a job interview. I go to the job interview, everything is in order, I've rehearsed for the interview, I'm sitting with the hiring manager. First round of the interview, superb, perfect. Second round, perfect. Third round, they're looking a bit skeptical. So I'm like, is there anything in my CV that's making you feel like I'm not the right candidate for this? So they look at me and they say, we see you are studying to get your master's. So I was like, yes, I am. And they said, maybe that is not what we're looking for right now. We're not looking for someone that is as ambitious right now, as this is an entry-level position. So you see what they did there? So it's not really me. It's not what I did. Technically it is because I did that master's, but that's not the point. That is not the point. So the point is, it's not you. Sometimes they're looking for something different. They're looking for someone fresh out of school to give them an opportunity. And even the pay they were offering was quite low to what I had in my salary expectations. But you see, me missing that made me get an even better job on a couple of interviews later, more rejections later. So just be resilient, and it's coming. Still on the job rejection, I'm saying a lot of so's. Oh wow, on the job rejection, I'm looking at my phone because my notes are here. On the job rejection, it forces you to reevaluate and re-strategize. So what that means is, let's say, for example, you were just laid off or you were just fired. Your whole world is crashing down. You have a family and you don't know what you're going to do next. So for me, in my opinion, it forces you to re-strategize, because you have to think outside of the box. You have to think of different means of income. If there's that business you've been meaning to start and you have money saved up, now is the time to start that business. Or another example, the actor from Shang-Chi, the Marvel movie. I think his name was Simu Liu. I'm butchering his name so bad. So he was fired as an accountant from Deloitte. He worked there for 10 years. He gets fired. And guess what? Where is he now? He's a leading actor in a Marvel movie, getting paid millions. Imagine that. So it forces you to re-strategize and reevaluate different ways on how to make income. And let's say there's some people who got fired and then they got into content creation and they're doing great. They're being sponsored by brands. And don't worry, if you're just starting out on content creation like me and you're not being sponsored by brands yet, just be consistent. Be consistent and you will get there. And in everything, even if it's a business, be consistent. You are going to get there. It's going to be hard, but you will get there. Romantic rejection. That can be hard. That can be very, very hard, especially after you have invested your time into someone and you have invested your energy, and then this person ghosts, or they tell you they're not looking for anything serious, or let's say they just break up with you. And that's okay. It's okay, because sometimes you don't have to. Okay, I know it will hit hard, but think of the time they've saved you. Imagine if you stayed longer in an unhappy situation, or you were talking to this guy that had no plans, or this girl that had no plans of taking it further with you, and you're just there giving yourself hope. So think of the time they've saved you, the energy they've saved you. And also, one no in a relationship is just 1 yes closer to finding the love of your life. It's just 1 yes closer to finding the love of your life. And maybe there might be a crack in the door, and then a narcissist might enter one or another. But after that narcissist, maybe the love of your life is next. But there's room to explore. When we talk about family rejection, I can't really touch much on family rejection because I have not been rejected by family, alhamdulillah. So family rejection would be, let's say, being rejected by your parents, being rejected by your mother, being rejected by your father. There are people who are born and they don't know their fathers, or people who are born and they don't know their mothers, or you were born. After a while ago, your father just disappears from the picture, or your mother disappears from the picture. I can't touch much on that because I have not experienced it per se. Yeah, but that's also a type of rejection. So I'm sure one of us has experienced either one. There's more types of rejection, but I'm sure you've experienced either one or two types of these rejections. A rejection could just be someone just telling you no. You wanted something, and this person just said no. And that's okay. It's okay. So kila siku you get your way. If you're spoiled like me and you like getting your way, you learn. You learn that it's okay. It's okay to get a no. How recently have I received the word no? Yes, I received the word no yesterday, but we move, no? We move. How do you deal with rejection? For me, in order to deal with rejection, I have to be honest with myself. Be honest about the situation. Today it's not even an outsider's perspective. Today is an insider's perspective. Wow. So you have to be honest with the situation. You look at what you may have done to cause the situation from happening, to cause you from being rejected. Or sometimes it's not even you. The surroundings, what enabled this rejection to happen, and what enabled you to put yourself in a position that would cause you to be, I don't want to say to be rejected because that sounds harsh. Let's use the example of let's say a job rejection. What did you do, or what could you have done to make the interview go better? What questions could you have asked, or how could you have interacted with the hiring manager in order for you to improve the experience? Sometimes it's not really about you. I know I just talked about what you could have done. Sometimes, while being honest, it's not about you. It's not about you in terms of, I said prior that when you apply for a job, and these guys were looking for someone with 2 years of working experience, and you only have like 2 months of working experience, that has nothing to do with you. It's not about you. It's not about your value as a human being. It's not you. It's them. It's them. So how do you withstand rejection and become resilient? Honestly, with rejection, each and every time you get rejected, I feel like it still hurts. It doesn't matter how much time you take into being rejected or how many times you've been rejected. Each time you get a rejection, it hurts, but with time, it hurts a little less. It's like when you've dated a lot and you've been through a lot of heartbreak. When a heartbreak happens, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as you thought it would because you've built that resilience. Also, the advantages of rejection now. I've said this one several times in this podcast right now, but I'm saying is it saves you from future pain and wasting your time and energy. And this could be future pain, wasting your time and energy. A job, you get a job you don't like, that has saved you time, that has saved you the energy you'd have put into that job. It has even saved you your mental health, because do you know how depressing it is to be at a wrong job? Yeah, so it saved you all that. There's also you reevaluate, you re-strategize, and you innovate and you think outside the box, and this gets you thinking about your initial purpose and your initial drive. Before this is going to be solely focused on jobs. So before, let's say you wanted to be an entrepreneur, life ikakuchapa kidogo, so you're like, let me go into the job market, let me just job hunt, and then you get rejected there. So this just pushes you to put things into perspective and for you to interact with your initial goals. If your initial goals was to start a business, you will go ahead, you will start the business, and you will give it your all, because you know what, you tried the job market, it's quite tough out there, so you went and you tried the entrepreneurship route this time, and this time it might work. It might. Yeah. Also, it motivates you to be a better version of yourself. For example, back to romantic ghosting. For example, romantic ghosting or heartbreak. I'm going to touch on a woman's perspective because I don't know a man's perspective. So for a woman, after a heartbreak, kuna hiyo self growth na self development drive inatoka hapo. Because you see, as a woman, you built on, I can make this person better, I can fix this person. But Bob the Builder, you have 3 people trying to fix the same person. So calm down. And after you calm down, and then let's say rejection has happened, or you've been broken up with, or you've been ghosted, all that energy you're putting into this person, yeah? Now you have no other thing to do, or no other way. You have to channel it back into yourself. You find yourself starting to hit the gym. You will start that business. You will start that content creation. You will, whatever it is you have been putting off, you will suddenly find you have the drive and the motivation to do it. And this doesn't just work on relationships alone. This works on rejection, like how I said on Simu Liu. I'm butchering his name, but Shang-Chi's lead actor being rejected as an accountant, and then just building resilience and working on himself, and him becoming the lead actor in a Marvel film. Mind-blowing, I tell you. Yes, so one no is always one step closer to a yes. Let's say, now I haven't touched on this one, it's entrepreneurship. It's an entrepreneurship or freelancing. Let's say, for example, you wrote a proposal for funding, and this to 30 different companies, and all these companies say no. The 31st proposal you may write might be the proposal that just does it for you. Might be the proposal where you get the yes that you need. So one step closer to a yes. That no is one step closer to a yes. Yeah, and don't give up, because Rome wasn't built in a day. It really wasn't. It also gives you a new perspective, and new ways to look at life. And after you've gotten that no, you get to know yourself. You know, once you always get yes, you're happy. Who are you when you get no? What's your character like when you get rejected, or when you hear the word no? What's the first thing? How do you react? Are you rude? Are you going to start shouting? Are you going to do this, that, and the third? Or how are you going to react? Yeah, so it gives a new perspective in who you are, and that also gives you time to develop yourself. To develop yourself and work on yourself. If you're getting a no and the first thing you're doing is shouting and yelling at everyone, fix that. Fix yourself. Yeah. Also, let's try looking at this from the rejector's perspective. Like someone might reject you, a job might reject you, a proposal might get rejected. But this rejector has his own reason. It's not you, it's not who you are as a person. Like, it's not Nema, it's not who Nema is as a person, it's what that rejector is currently looking for. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's just, what is this rejector looking for? You'd find your proposal got rejected for funding because they're looking to invest into a project in agriculture. Your project is in electrical engineering. Yeah, let's do that. It's in electrical engineering, and they're looking to invest into agriculture. Unless that electrical engineering marries into the agriculture idea, then you're not going to get the funding. Yeah, so it's very gloomy today. It's just started raining again. I love it. Such nice weather. Also, on the closing note, so you just need to start seeing rejection as a part of life. Because if you get rejected each time and you just view yourself as the victim each and every single time, how many times can you really be a victim, kwa kweli? You just have to see it as, okay, this is a way of life. This happened. Okay, now we move on. We move. Whatever it is, we move. So, yeah, this time in this episode, it was an insider's perspective because all this, we've all experienced rejection. All the rejections I have talked about, I have experienced them in one way or another. Maybe not all of them, but I've experienced some of them in one way or another. And this is just my experience on how I overcame it, or how the advantages to rejection in my perspective. Yeah. So that's all I had for you today. I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to take something away from this podcast. If not, I hope it was just able to encourage you, or if you're feeling down, I hope you were able to take something away. Some stuff may have been harsh that I've said, or how I framed it, but I hope you take it with light and love. We are at the end of the video and you haven't even subscribed yet. Are you proud of yourself? Okay, thank you. It's okay. Go like it. It's fine. Go subscribe. You subscribed? You subscribed? Okay, thank you so much. So until next time, thank you so much for joining, everyone. It's me, your host, Nema, and stay tuned for the next episode. And I hope everyone is having a splendid day.